Let's kick things off with a quick question. Who do you think ends up making more money? The kid who aced every exam, or the kid who barely passed but could sell ice to a polar bear? If your gut says the genius, obviously, stick around. Because the actual data says something a lot weirder. Today, we're diving into the wealthy underachiever paradox, exploring why less intelligent people sometimes outturn the smartest folks in the room. We'll unpack real research, quirky stories, and the surprising traits that actually drive financial success. Ready for a reality check? Let's jump in. Here's the official title card: Why Less Intelligent People Sometimes Outearn Geniuses. Picture a gold lightning bolt animation flashing across the screen. This sets the stage for our exploration of the paradox that challenges everything you thought you knew about intelligence and wealth. The visuals grab your attention, hinting at the electrifying discoveries ahead. Let's get started with the story that illustrates this phenomenon. Imagine two old college roommates. One barely scraped through engineering, failing thermodynamics twice. The other topped every semester and landed a prestigious research fellowship, the classic academic superstar. Fast forward 10 years. The genius is a brilliant scientist earning a stable, modest salary. The underachiever, he owns 3 small businesses and just bought his parents a house. Same city, same starting line, wildly different outcomes. What's actually going on here? Let's break down the patterns researchers have documented. Most people assume intelligence and income move in a straight line together. But economist Jay Zagorski tracked thousands of Americans' financial lives and found that IQ had surprisingly little connection to actual wealth built over time. Smart people weren't poor, but past a certain point, extra IQ stopped buying extra money. Intelligence opens doors. It doesn't walk you through them. This myth is one of the biggest surprises in the world of personal finance, and it's backed by decades of research. Picture a line graph that climbs, then flattens like a hill, not a staircase. This visual represents the relationship between IQ and wealth. There's an initial rise, but then the curve levels off. It's a powerful illustration of how intelligence only takes you so far in the pursuit of financial success. Beyond a certain threshold, other factors start to matter much more. Let's explore what those are. Irony number 1. Being highly analytical can actually make you slower to act. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman studied how people make decisions and found that analytical minds tend to overweigh risk and underweigh opportunity. They're built to spot what could go wrong. A highly analytical person sees 40 reasons a business idea might fail. A less analytical person sees one reason it might work and starts before the other 39 reasons even occur to them. In the real world, an okay idea launched today usually outperforms a perfect idea launched 3 years from now. Picture a split screen. One person is still researching a business idea on slide 60 of a deck 3 years later. The other person is already opening their second store. This comedic visual highlights the difference between analysis paralysis and action. It's not recklessness beating wisdom, it's velocity. In business, moving fast often trumps waiting for the perfect plan. Irony number 2. School only ever measured one kind of smart. Psychologist Robert Sternberg argued that real-world success draws on 3 distinct intelligences: analytical, creative, and practical. Classrooms are excellent at testing the first one, but almost never test the third. Practical intelligence is reading a room, knowing when to push and when to wait, and sensing what a customer wants before they've said it out loud. These skills rarely show up on a report card, but they often show up on a balance sheet. Picture a street vendor smoothly handling 3 customers and a phone call at once. This is practical intelligence in action, multitasking, reading people, and adapting quickly. These are the skills that drive real-world success, far beyond what's measured in a classroom. Emotional intelligence, as described by psychologist Daniel Goleman, is also crucial, managing your own reactions and reading others. None of this shows up on a report card, but it's everywhere in business. Psychologist Daniel Goleman described emotional intelligence as the ability to manage your own reactions and read other people's emotions. This skill set is essential for success in business, relationships, and life. Emotional intelligence helps you navigate tricky situations, build trust, and influence others. It's a hidden driver of wealth that rarely gets the spotlight in traditional education. You can see practical and emotional intelligence playing out right now with online creators. Many of the highest-earning influencers never set foot in a postgraduate program. What they're actually skilled at is reading an audience in real time and adjusting before the algorithm even tells them to. This is practical and emotional intelligence running on a different stage than a classroom, and it's a major reason why some creators outturn traditional professionals. Picture a phone screen scrolling through a social media feed, then cutting to a brand deal contract. This visual shows how influencers leverage practical and emotional intelligence to build their businesses. They sense trends, adapt quickly, and connect with audiences, skills that aren't graded in school but are rewarded in the marketplace. Now a fair pushback. For every roommate A, there are plenty of risk takers who lost everything and you simply never hear about it. That's survivorship bias, a real, well-documented effect. We mostly see the winners, not the much larger crowd who took the same swing and got nothing. This bias shapes our perception of success and can make risky strategies seem more effective than they really are. Picture 100 animated dice rolling. Most land on BUSTED, a few land on. This visual represents the randomness of luck in business and life. Taking more risks means more chances for big wins, but also more chances for losses. The winners are visible, but the losers are hidden. This is the lottery ticket effect in action. Imagine 1,000 people with average analytical scores but high risk tolerance. Most of them probably struggle, but because they took more swings, a small number hit something big, and those are the ones who end up on magazine covers. Meanwhile, 1,000 highly analytical people might mostly land in safe, comfortable outcomes, fewer flameouts, but also fewer outliers at the very top. The takeaway isn't that lower analytical ability causes wealth. It's that traits like risk tolerance, speed, and social calibration buy you more lottery tickets. More tickets on average means more big wins, even though it also means more quiet losses nobody films a video about. This is the lottery ticket effect. Taking more chances increases the odds of hitting it big, but also increases the odds of failure. The key is understanding how risk and reward interact in the real world. If you walked in assuming smart people get rich, the honest answer is, sometimes. Money rewards a far wider mix of skills than any exam was ever built to measure. Reading people, tolerating risk, moving fast, and getting back up after the swings that don't land. The real lesson here isn't be less smart. It's stop outsourcing your definition of smart to a test you took when you were 17. The host closes their laptop and raises an eyebrow at the camera. This visual signals the end of the discussion and invites viewers to reflect on their own definitions of intelligence and success. Are you optimizing for the kind of smart that gets graded or the kind that gets paid? It's a question worth pondering. The end card appears. Subscribe, like, comment, gold on Navy animation. This wraps up the video and encourages viewers to engage with the content. The visuals are sleek and professional, reinforcing the key message of the wealthy underachiever paradox. Economist Jay Zagorski's research on IQ and personal wealth is foundational to this discussion. He tracked thousands of Americans over decades and found that intelligence, measured by IQ, had surprisingly little connection to actual wealth accumulation. This challenges the common belief that smarter people always end up richer. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman's work on judgment and risk reveals that highly analytical minds tend to overweigh risks and underweigh opportunities. This can lead to slower decision-making and missed chances. Kahneman's research is a cornerstone in understanding why overthinking can be expensive. Robert Sternberg's theory of successful intelligence highlights three distinct types: analytical, creative, and practical. While schools focus on analytical intelligence, real-world success often depends on practical intelligence, knowing how to navigate social situations, adapt, and solve everyday problems. Daniel Goleman's work on emotional intelligence shows that managing your own emotions and understanding others is crucial for success. Emotional intelligence is a key driver in business, leadership, and personal relationships. It's often overlooked in traditional measures of intelligence. Let's revisit the roommate story. One struggled academically but became a successful entrepreneur, while the other excelled in school and became a scientist with a stable salary. This composite story illustrates the wealthy underachiever paradox and sets the stage for our deeper exploration. Intelligence opens doors, but it doesn't walk you through them. This means that while high IQ can create opportunities, its other traits, like risk tolerance, practical intelligence, and emotional intelligence, that determine who actually walks through and succeeds. Analysis paralysis is a common pitfall for highly analytical people. Overthinking risks and waiting for perfect conditions can lead to missed opportunities. In business, speed often beats perfection. Launching an okay idea today usually outperforms waiting for the perfect idea. Practical intelligence is about reading a room, adapting quickly, and sensing what people want. It's the skill that helps entrepreneurs, salespeople, and leaders succeed. Unlike analytical intelligence, it's rarely measured in school but is crucial in the real world. Emotional intelligence helps you manage your own reactions and understand others. In business, this means building relationships, influencing decisions, and navigating challenges. It's a skill that drives success but is rarely taught in traditional education. Online creators succeed by reading their audience and adapting quickly. They use practical and emotional intelligence to build their brands, connect with followers, and secure lucrative deals. Many never attended postgraduate programs, but their skills are highly rewarded. Luck plays a significant role in success. Survivorship bias means we only see the winners, not the many who failed. Taking risks increases the chances of big wins, but also the chances of losses. Understanding this helps balance optimism with realism. Risk tolerance is the willingness to take chances. People with high risk tolerance take more swings, increasing their odds of hitting it big. However, this also means more failures. The key is to understand your own risk profile and make decisions accordingly. The lottery ticket analogy explains why some people succeed spectacularly. Taking more risks is like buying more lottery tickets. Most won't win, but a few will hit the jackpot. This explains the outliers we see in business and entertainment. Highly analytical people often land in safe, comfortable outcomes. They avoid flameouts but also miss out on the biggest wins. Risk-takers have more failures but also more chances for spectacular success. Both strategies have trade-offs. Traits like risk tolerance, speed, and social calibration are key drivers of wealth. These traits buy you more lottery tickets, increasing your chances of big wins. Intelligence alone isn't enough. Other skills matter just as much, if not more. For every big winner, there are many quiet losses nobody films a video about. This is the hidden side of risk-taking. Understanding this helps keep expectations realistic and encourages balanced decision-making. Money rewards a mix of skills: reading people, tolerating risk, moving fast, and bouncing back from setbacks. IQ is just one piece of the puzzle. The real world values a broader set of abilities than any exam can measure. The real lesson is be less smart. It's to stop outsourcing your definition of smart to a test you took when you were 17. Success requires redefining intelligence to include practical and emotional skills, not just academic scores. Are you optimizing for the kind of smart that gets graded, or the kind that gets paid? This question encourages viewers to reflect on their own goals and strategies. The answer could reshape your approach to career and life. The host jokes, "I'll read the smartest replies," or honestly, probably just the ones that make me money. Kidding, mostly. This witty closing reinforces the theme and leaves viewers with a smile, while subtly hinting at the real-world priorities behind success. The end card reminds viewers to subscribe, like, and comment. Gold on Navy Animation wraps up the video with a professional touch, reinforcing the key message and encouraging engagement. Sources referenced include Jay Zagorsky's research on IQ and personal wealth, Daniel Kahneman's work on judgment and risk, Robert Sternberg's theory of successful intelligence, and Daniel Goleman's work on emotional intelligence. The roommate story and the 1,000-people scenario are illustrative thought experiments, not reported case studies. The thought experiment about 1,000 risk-takers versus 1,000 analytical people illustrates the lottery ticket effect. Most risk-takers struggle, but a few hit it big. Analytical people have safer outcomes but fewer outliers. Both approaches have pros and cons. Skills like practical and emotional intelligence show up on a balance sheet, not a report card. This distinction highlights the gap between what schools measure and what the real world rewards. Success requires broadening your definition of intelligence. Real-world success depends on a mix of analytical, creative, and practical intelligence. Schools focus on analytical, but practical and emotional skills drive wealth and achievement. Recognizing this can help you focus on the traits that matter most. The wealthy underachiever paradox teaches us that intelligence is just one ingredient in the recipe for success. Traits like risk tolerance, practical intelligence, and emotional intelligence are equally important. Redefine what it means to be smart, and you might just redefine your path to wealth.